Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's flow. My name is Kelly, and today I'll be leading you through a very short sequence that's meant to help you if you've had a stressful day. Sometimes movement feels like the last thing you want to do if you've been on your feet all day or your brain's just been moving far too much for you to really comprehend at the time. But yoga can really help bring you back down to earth if everything feels like it's spiraling above your head. So that's what this flow is meant for today. It's one that I actually practice very frequently on my own if I'm not quite settled, if I've got really bad anxiety that is swirling around and causing a lot of disruptions in my mindset. And hopefully it will also serve to help you too if you're feeling that way, or if you just want some gentle movement to reset yourself before you move about whichever direction that you intend to go for the rest of your day. So without further ado, we'll get started, and we're going to start in child's pose. Come on to hands and knees, bring the big toes together or about together, and then sink the glutes back towards the heels. Maybe the glutes rest on the heels, maybe not. Let the hands fall along in front of you towards the front of the mat. Maybe the forehead comes down to the earth or the chin. Or maybe you find one side of the face to rest on if that feels comfortable. Bear in mind to switch sides. After a good 10 or 12 breaths, just to even out the neck. Child's pose is a grounding posture. The slight inversion helps balance the endocrine system, helps relieve those feelings of fight or flight that might pop up at any point during your day. It's also a good place to connect with the breath, to notice the rhythm of your inhales and exhales, to maybe focus the mind on slowing down the process of respiration. Maybe this is your practice day. Maybe child's pose feels exceptionally good and you want to stay here for the duration of the flow. That's perfectly okay. Or maybe just for a little bit longer than I cue. My cues are always suggestions. They're never absolute. So if something else calls for you, you're welcome to take that shape or not take that shape. And we'll just take a few moments to notice the breath. Whichever pattern it takes, the speed, the sound. Maybe you invite some slower inhales and slower exhales through the nose. If you find the heart pounds, feels like it's racing, nostril breathing is actually a natural way to slow the breath down, slow the heartbeat down. Maybe start to find some deeper breaths. And as you breathe, start to notice parts of the body that might feel tense or tight. And clenching the hand, maybe. You feel that. Just let the palms soften, the fingers spread apart. And rest gently on the mat or the floor in front of you. The shoulders surf up towards the ears. Gently let them fall away. Invite space where space may not exist. Invite the breath to hit every corner of the body. Let it rest anywhere that feels like it needs some extra attention. And when you feel ready to move, we'll press into the hands and come up into tabletop on hands and knees. We'll find 5 rounds of cat-cow posture. Once you're settled with the wrists stacked beneath the shoulders, knees stacked below the hips. And when you're there, when the body's ready, big inhale breath, drop the belly, lift the chin, lift the chest, find your cow posture. And then exhale, slowly around the upper back. Chin falls towards the chest, gaze looks towards the belly for cat. Inhale, find your cow. Chin rises, chest opens. Exhale, round it in for cat posture. We'll do 3 more just like this on your own breath. I invite you to try to slow it down, maybe more than you normally do if you practice cat-cow. Anxiety is a rapid turning of the mind, and slowing your movements down purposefully, can help bring those churning emotions also back down to earth. Find some freedom from these thoughts that might be causing you some distress. When your 5th round of cat-cow is complete, we'll come into neutral tabletop posture. Big inhale breath, press into the left arm, raise the right arm straight up and overhead. We'll hold here for a few breaths. Just to open the side body, open the chest, open the upper back. Big in breath here, and then exhale, lower the right hand, plant it on the mat. Next big inhale breath, raises the left arm up towards the sky. Gaze might follow, gaze might stay neutral. Whichever feels better on the neck. Big inhale here, and then exhale, lower the left hand down, plant the hand. Inhale, breath, right arm rises. And then exhale, thread the right arm beneath the abdomen on the inside of the left arm so the back of the right hand plants against the mat, shoulder will as well. And then come to rest on the right cheek. We'll thread the needle. Maybe the left hand stays planted by the face. Maybe extend it long in front of you towards the front of the mat. Whichever feels comfortable for you. We'll find 5 rounds of breath on the right side. It's a great shoulder opener. The neck, shoulders, and back tend to feel anxiety the most. We start to hunch and start to curl everything inward. It's part of that fight or flight response that rises in the body when we feel like we're under attack. The needle is one way to help loosen those muscles up, to reverse those locked up muscle patterns. Big inhale breath here. And then exhale, if the left hand's not already by the face, plant it in front of the gaze. Press into the left palm, inhale, rise up. Right hand raises up overhead. And then exhale, lower the right hand down to the mat and reset in tabletop. Big inhale breath, left arm rises. And then exhale, thread the left arm underneath the chest. Come to rest on the left shoulder. Maybe the right hand stays planted by the face. Maybe extends long in front of you. Back of the left hand comes to rest on the floor. It's an L shape between the extended right arm and then the left arm coming perpendicular to the mat. To the long edge of the mat, I should say. If you wish for the right arm to extend. If not, it can stay planted beside the face for extra stability. We'll find 3 more breaths on the left side. Big inhale breath. If the right hand is not beside the face, I'm going to come to plant and exhale here. Inhale, breath, press into the right arm, raise the left arm up and overhead. And then exhale, reset in tabletop. Now if the hands may be a handprint forward, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back or in downward facing dog. Invite a strong bend in the knees if the hamstrings feel tight and tired. Pretend there's suction cups in the fingers. Take the hands into the mat. Point the eyes of the elbow in towards either the index finger or the middle finger. This brings the work into the muscles and out of the joints. Helps prevent any alignment issues or any strain on the joints that might arise if most of the weight is being held there as opposed to the muscles. Maybe stillness feels good in downward dog. Maybe begin to pedal the feet one at a time. Maybe both at once. Lift and settle the heels. Maybe bend and straighten the knees. Let the torso rock towards the quadriceps. Maybe rock the hips from side to side. Just play with any of these movements. See what feels good in the body, what the body needs. If you feel this in the low back at all, invite some roundness in the upper back and lift the tailbone up and away from the body while tucking the navel in towards the spine. So ensure that the spine stays straight rather than starting to go into a bit of a sway. Fine, just 3 more breaths here in down dog. Next inhale breath, raise the right leg up towards the sky. And then exhale, round the upper back, scoop the right knee in towards the nose, plant the right leg, foot in between the hands. Dial the left heel down towards the mat. So the back foot's about parallel to the short edge of the back of the mat, or maybe the toes point a little bit inward. When you're there, big inhale breath, raise the arms up and overhead, warrior one. And then exhale, drop the arms to a T beside you, gaze over the right fingertips for warrior two. Inhale, breath, straighten the right leg. And then exhale, shift forward just a little bit. Invite a side hinge towards the right. Inhale, breath. Exhale there. Inhale, straighten the spine. And then exhale, shift the weight forward just a little bit. We're making a rocking motion from the waist up. So keep the lower body still and allow this gentle movement in the upper body. If the arms feel tired at any point, then bring them down to the waist. Next, inhale, breath. Shift the weight forward towards the right as much as you can until you can't reach anymore. And then exhale, drop the right arm wherever it falls. It might be the floor, it might be an ankle or shin. Let the left arm rise up and overhead. We're in triangle posture. Again, the right hand could be really high up on the leg. Maybe it's just below the knee. Whatever invites most openness in the chest area, so that the shoulders aren't hunched and you're not reaching more forward than up. Maybe the gaze lifts up towards the left arm, or maybe it stays neutral, or maybe it looks towards the ground. If the side of the earth is most comforting for you. 5 breaths here. Next, inhale, breath. Use the strength in the front leg. Maybe bend the knee a little bit. Raise the torso upright and find your warrior two. Inhale, breath. Sweep the arms overhead. Face the long edge of the mat and bring the right toes in towards this long edge of the mat and the left toes as well. We're in 5-pointed star. Take a moment here. One more big inhale breath. You can exhale, hinge forward. Find a wide-legged forward fold. Maybe the hands rest just below the head, or maybe you make the peace fingers and wind them around the big toes. Let the elbows splay outwards. Let the head hang heavy towards the mat. 5 breaths here. If you need to bend the knees deeply, in order to enjoy the stretch without straining the hamstrings, feel welcome to do so. If you're not already there, plant the hands below the head on the mat in your wide fold. Big inhale, breath. Raise up halfway, let the spine be flat, and maybe the hands come slightly off the floor, but not too much. And then exhale, lower down, plant the hands and walk them towards the left leg. Spin the left toes towards the front of the mat. The right feet might actually stay where they are, or maybe you just adjust the right foot to find a more comfortable posture. We're headed into warrior one. We've been here before. Inhale, breath, sweep the arms up and overhead, bend the left knee. And then exhale, draw up the arms to a T. Gaze falls over the left fingertips. Inhale, breath, straighten the left leg. And then exhale, shift your weight forward just a little bit. Inhale, breath, straighten the spine. And we'll find that rocking motion again. A sway or side to side sometimes feels really soothing and relaxing, kind of like how the movements of cat-cow can really calm down the body and the mind. It also loosens up the hips nicely and the waist to prepare you for the fold involved in triangle. We'll meet with a neutral spine. Inhale, breath. Shift the weight forward until you can't reach any more towards the left, and then exhale, let the left hand fall where it may. Right arm rises overhead for your triangle. Keep in mind this side might feel different. That's okay. And the gaze might go up. It might stay neutral, looking straight, or maybe towards the earth for grounding. 5 breaths on the side. Next, inhale, breath, bend the left knee. Just to strengthen the feet to raise back up into warrior two. And then exhale there to settle. Inhale, straighten the left leg, bring the arms up and overhead to face forward and spin the left toes towards the long edge of the mat for your 5-pointed star. And then exhale, hinge forward at the hips, find your wide-legged fold. I invite you to try a variation you didn't take last time. Maybe you make the peace fingers around the big toes. Maybe the hands settle below the head. Or maybe on an inhale breath, you lift halfway to a flat spine and then bring the hands behind you. Clasp the palms. Surf the shoulder blades together and then exhale, fold down. And find the shoulder and upper back stretch. Let the head hang heavy. Let the hands fall towards the floor. Towards the back of the head. Only to comfort, never want to overstretch the area. We'll find 3 more breaths here. If you have the hands clasped, go ahead and bring the hands below the head. Let them rest onto the mat. Inhale, breath. Lift halfway with a flat back. And then And then exhale, plant the hands, walk them towards the right foot. And then come onto the ball of the left foot and drop to the left knee. Take a breath here, and then exhale, sweep the right foot. So you need the left into your tabletop. And through tabletop, just pick one hip to sit on and spin the legs out in front of you. Find a seated posture. The legs long towards the front of the mat. You can move some of the flesh of the thighs out of the way to feel more grounding through the sit bones. When you're there, when you feel ready, big inhale breaths with the arms up and overhead, straighten the spine, maybe the gaze follows. And then exhale, slowly begin to hinge forward until the hands find perhaps toes, arch of foot, ankle, or maybe just the floor beside the legs. In a seated fold. And you find a place that's comfortable, but you feel a stretch, but never a strain. You round the upper back and let the chin fall towards the chest. You'll find 8 breaths here. Folds are also great postures for rebalancing, for finding a sensation of safety, for calming nerves, soothing digestion, all things that can make us feel rattled. And 5 more breaths. Next, inhale breath, you can walk the hands in towards the hips, let the spine straighten. And then take a big exhale there. If you need to shift forward on the mat to find a comfortable place to lay back so that you're not hanging off the mat, feel welcome to do so. And then slowly lower yourself down onto your back, the legs long in front of you. Maybe shake the ankles a little bit or tap the backs of the knees against the mat. When you feel settled and comfortable, take a big inhale breath, and then exhale, bring the right knee in towards the chest. Let the palms clasp around the shin or maybe even the back of the hamstring, and then just rock the right knee from side to side. Open up the hip. One more round of rocking. Bring the left hand towards the outside of the right thigh. Take a big inhale breath here, and then exhale. Begin to press the right knee towards the left side of the body. A supine twist. Maybe the gaze falls over the right shoulder, or maybe it stays neutral and looks up. Right arm might extend long beside you into a T, or maybe the elbow stays bent and the hand rests facing the back of the mat. And 5 breaths on this side. Next inhale breath, slowly release the right leg back across the body and let the right foot meet the left. Big inhale breath here. And then exhale, left knee comes in towards the chest. Hands find the shin or the back of the hamstring. And open the hip by rocking the knee from side to side. When that feels complete to you, bring the right hand to the outside of the left thigh and send the left knee towards the right. Left arm might extend long beside you, or maybe with the elbow bent. And the gaze falls over the left shoulder. Five breaths here. Inhale breaths, you release the twist. The left leg falls to the mat to meet the right. As we move into our final rest of practice, our Shavasana, make any movements you need to make yourself just 5% more comfortable than before. If any other final postures or motions feel good, go ahead and take those. Otherwise, we'll close out our practice today. Let the breath return to the body. The eyes close. Maybe the hands rest on the mat, palms facing up or down. Maybe the palms rest on the belly. Make a pillow behind the head. The fingers clasped. Tension in the jaw. Give it a wiggle from side to side. The brows furrow together and find space in between them. And fall apart to either side. The teeth unclench. Rest against the roof of the mouth. And just breathe. Come back into the space around you. And you wiggle fingers and toes. Rock the head from side to side. You lick your lips and swallow. And invite a couple slow, deep, mindful breaths. Through the nose and out through the nose. if you feel ready to move, roll on one side of the body to rest for just one more moment before we close out our practice. Find a few more breaths of peace and quiet. And when you feel complete here, press into the hands and find our way into seated posture, whichever feels comfortable. Could be cross-legged. Feet could be planted in front of you with the knees pointed up. Maybe the legs long in front of the body. Maybe the hands rest by your side, on your knees in your lap, or maybe the palms pressed together at heart center, chin bows towards the chest. We take a few more breaths together to end our practice today. And then let the eyes open and allow just a few more spurts of positive energy, positive thoughts to come in. I hope this flow helped bring you down if you feel a little bit too far up off of the earth. I have moments like that for sure, and yoga can serve as a very nice way to help me find some normalcy and find some evenness as things around me continually change and continually alter. So thank you again, as always, for joining me. All of my social links will be below for you to reference if you have questions, comments, suggestions, concerns, if anything came up during practice today, you want more advice on postures to try if you feel stressed. I will also link below my older flows in case you want to go back to those or try them out depending on what you seek in a yoga practice at any given moment. And I look forward to being here next week with another new flow for you. I always am here for you as your yoga teacher if these practices help you and you want a little bit more guidance and a little bit more yoga to enter your day. So I will see you next time, and thank you once again for joining me today.